the settings while we're recording. A little bit of alternate juice today. Just like that, we're back at that ass, baby boy. In the jar. Number 48. That's a little loud, so I'm gonna make it louder. Coming at that pretty little, whatever you want to call it. I was about to say something offensive. I'm sitting here watching the Notre Dame Ohio State game, and it's not looking good for the Irish. They got a turnover. They're down 2 scores. Well, actually, I think it's 3. No, 2. They get a turnover. They drive it down there. And instead of trying to close the gap down to 1 score, they settle for 3. Playing small ball. And they miss the kick. And it's not looking good for Notre Dame. I told myself that I wasn't even going to watch the Notre Dame Ohio State game because it's not real football if it's not the SEC. I know that that's probably an antiquated view of things. But I'm watching it. So, let me crank this up a little bit. That's better. But, it looks like Ohio State's got it locked up, dude. Welcome to episode 48, you guys. You know what I mean? I thought we would start it off with some different tunes. And they're still playing. Start off with some different tunes today. So as you can see, we're switching up the set a little bit, getting ready for some guests. Finally, it's been a holiday season where just kind of soaking it in, and getting back into the thick of things on this podcasting deal, on this show. Back in the trenches. You know what I mean? So, there's a lot going on in the NFL. College football is obviously going to be over by the time you guys are seeing this. And that's pretty sad because it feels like just, not too long ago, we were all giddy about NCAA 25 and playing that game. And now it's going to be over, the season, But, that's life, baby. Things come and things go. Impermanence. That's the word I've been meditating on lately. Impermanence. Everything begins, everything passes away. And yes, I just turned a football conversation into a philosophy conversation. I did do that. That was fucking loud, wasn't it, baby? Anyway, that was loud too. Had a little toke off the one hitter before we came in here. It's Monday night. Like I said, you guys are probably sports fan, and anyone that's watching this, let me speak English. You guys are probably sports fans if you're watching this. So you know that Monday night is the night of the national championship game in college football. And I think that it is the worst tradition. Who the hell wants to watch the national championship at 8 p.m. Eastern time on a Monday? I get a little better treatment on that by Father Time, because for me that's 6. But growing up, Same with the national championship of basketball, too. That's a Monday night game. And I think basketball games start even later, dude. It's like, I think the national championship in basketball is on Monday night every year at like 9 p.m. Eastern time. It's horrible. You don't get to go into work late the next day. You still got a freaking exam at 9 a.m. the next morning, or whatever. And that's a lot's changed in college sports. I don't know why we can't change that too. Stop having national title games on Monday night. It's a horrible tradition. It's just, it's too late. It's a weeknight. Like, at least, I don't know, because Sunday night you run into the playoffs, the NFL playoffs. Let's workshop this here, okay? Couldn't do it on a Sunday because you got NFL playoffs. You couldn't do it on a Saturday because the NFL also does the wild card and divisional games on Saturday. Maybe Friday night? I think Friday night could be... I don't think Friday night's too bad for a college football national championship game. I don't think Friday night would be bad. I think, Friday night would even be more doable for a college basketball championship game, because basketball games, they have them every day. You know what I'm saying? Dude, I always felt bad in college. I always felt bad for the basketball guys, because the basketball guys in college literally get no holidays off. Thanksgiving, you're getting ready to start the season. You got to be there and practice. Christmas, you're obviously in the thick of the season. You got to stay on campus. You got to practice. New Year's, obviously same thing. I'm sure them boys don't get Valentine's Day. They're still playing on St. Patty's Day. And then, hopefully you play to the national championship in April. And then you get you an Easter. But yeah, I guess what I'm saying is, like, the main breaks you get in college are obviously Thanksgiving. You get about a week, and then Christmas break. At our school, we got 6 weeks for Christmas. It was incredible, dude. I thought they called it Jan term. I thought Jan term was in college was a better break than summer for whatever reason. But then I only played football for 2 years, but the first 2 years you got to report for workouts in July. So maybe that's why I thought summer was better. But then, there was 1 year where, and I don't remember, I didn't travel we made the playoffs my sophomore year. And so there's 2 levels of Division I. There's the big time Division I. I don't know what it's the technical definition, up to my knowledge in this moment, is that big time college football is still referred to as FBS. I don't even know what it stands for. Let me pull it up. Football Bowl Subdivision. Okay. So that makes sense, because if you don't go to the college football playoff, you go to a bowl game if you get at least 6 wins. And then FCS, I believe, is just Football Championship Subdivision. Yeah. And so it's 1A and 1AA. My alma mater, Samford University, was in Division 1AA, FCS. So those are like the little schools that, come to your SEC teams stadium to play a game, early in the year, late in the year, and the smaller school gets paid a hunk of cash to basically come and get an ass whooping majority of the time. But it was always fun to go up to those schools and play them. It's kind of like a weird energy of like in the back of your mind, like we know we're probably going to get beat, but also like we could do it. You know what I mean? Like we could, dude. We could. I remember my junior year. I wasn't playing at this point, but my junior year we had Georgia in a September game. And I was on campus going to class, and there's a kid that was clearly a student at our school, Samford University. We played the University of Georgia that weekend. And there's a kid on campus on Tuesday or Wednesday walking around campus in a Georgia hoodie. Go to Georgia. You know what I mean? I still get mad about it. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, national championship game, college football. No, I'm threading the needle too soon. What I was saying was that my sophomore year, we made the playoffs. We made the national playoffs, and I think we had to stay. We practiced on Thanksgiving one year. I remember that. It was the first time I had ever practiced football on Thanksgiving. And then I think that was the break where we had to stay. I think we were done by Christmas. We had to have been. But if you go deep, if you go deep in the playoffs or whatever, that's a different story. But anyways, they should not have the national championship game on a Monday in football or basketball, and they have it in both in college. So hope this reaches the right people either today or tomorrow or the next day or the day after that. You know what I mean? So yeah, we got this new table here. This thing is a giant. It's going to be really good for having guests. It's kind of like a Joe Rogan style table. I got it for $50. I went on Facebook Marketplace and I found this guy, and he had a big old lot. And I actually had to take this little this big ass table. I had to take it apart to even get it into my house, and I hit it on some things, chipped some paint. So, I need to do some painting. You know what I mean? Division round of NFL just happened. Yeah, I mean, it's looking like the Chiefs are gonna do what it. I was about to. I think you guys know what I was about to say. What if I said that, and then because I said it, it doesn't happen. So I'm going to say it. The Chiefs are going to three-peat. A couple of the fellas are over there making a living with the Chiefs, and so that's good for the boys. Get you a little. I think the way it works I know the way it works in the NFL. So if you get a playoff berth in the NFL, and this might be different staff to staff. I know this to be fact with Indianapolis. If an NFL team gets a playoff berth, they will pay all their employees a bonus. If you win the wild card game, staff gets a bigger bonus. If you win the division game, staff gets an even bigger bonus. On down the road. And I think, dude, I remember I think with the Colts, me and my team, we were like entry level kids, so pretty low on the totem pole. And I think and we didn't make the playoffs. We went 7-9. Jacoby Brissett was our quarterback. That was the year that Andrew Luck retired during the preseason, and that was my second week of work when that happened. But yeah, we didn't make the playoffs. But my manager told me, because 7-9, 16-game season, like, you're a game or two away from maybe sneaking in. I mean, there's been 7-9 teams like the Seahawks that one year when Marshawn Lynch had that crazy beast mode run against the Saints, I believe. I think that Seahawks team was 7-9, won that wild card game at least, if not went further. I don't remember exactly. But so, there was a conversation with my manager on if, we made the playoffs. And I was sitting there thinking, like, dude, I'm making 100 calls a day. Like, 90 of them tell me to fuck off. Like, you're talking to me about a playoff bonus? And he was like, yeah, it's like, you guys would get a $500 bonus. And I don't want to spread misinfo. This is just a conversation that I remember. He told me, he was like, make the playoffs, you get like a, $500 bonus. Win the wild card round, it's like $750. You get another $750 bonus. If we win the divisional round, you get another $1,000 bonus, and on down the road and on down the road. And I'm like, I'm literally an inside sales rep. Like, you can go online and hire inside sales reps for your business in Egypt and pay them like $8 an hour. And we were getting like 10 in commission. It was just a pleasure to go in to an NFL building every morning, and have a credential on game day. Like, that you pay for that. You know what I mean? Going to entry level role like that. But so long story short, couple Sanford buddies on the Chiefs. So, as a Bengals fan, am I an op? Yes. On a macro level, from a fan perspective, am I an op of the Chiefs? Yes. But you got a couple. I know for a fact there's a couple good guys on that team that I want to see do well. So there's also that component too. But I think the Chiefs are going to three-peat. Buffalo could go in there and beat them. They could, but it's so annoying, dude. The Chiefs, they just find a way. And X was absolutely lit up during the game on Sunday. The Chiefs, okay, let's mentally rehash here. My CTE's hitting a little bit. So we had the Chiefs Texans on Saturday. Okay. So on Saturday after the Chiefs-Texans game, X was absolutely losing their minds. People have taken the Trump derangement syndrome phrase and turned it into Chiefs derangement syndrome. I think it's a valid theory. I like Trump, so I don't ever have TDS feelings. But as a Bengals fan, I have to kind of root. I don't know, man. It was this way with the Patriots, back in the 2000s, 2010s. I hated the Patriots when I was a kid. And looking back on it, I'm kind of like, dang, I really appreciate that organization. I really admire what they did. And I've even read a book or two about that organization during that time because it's just spectacular. So maybe I'll feel that way about the Chiefs on down the line. But when there's a lot of haters out there, like when you're a good team, like there's going to be a lot of people hating, but it's like also it's just hard to separate in real time, like what is a real valid thing, and then like maybe some hater shit. You know what I mean? Basically, there were two plays that come to mind in the Chiefs-Texans game for me that people are debunking. Some people are standing behind it with everything they have. There was a play where Mahomes was in the pocket. Will Anderson, number 51 for the Texans, was coming off the edge. And he was pretty close to getting home. And he made contact with Mahomes. It was a bang-bang play as Mahomes made the throw. And Mahomes gets the flag. So I think a lot of people were focused on the timing of the hit. And I was too. I thought it was, and I have a defensive bias as well. I especially have a pass rusher's bias. I didn't think it was roughing the passer. And then I saw some theories on X that, theories, whatever you want to call them, takes, and mostly Chiefs bias people coming with this perspective. So it's like, it's good to take a look at those being on the other side to kind of see like, okay, am I getting emotional? Is this, you kind of just opening yourself up to how someone else sees it, I guess. And what a lot of Chiefs people were saying was that Will Anderson made contact with Mahomes' face mask, that it was a head-to-head kind of hit. And I saw it a little bit, but do I think many other quarterbacks would get that call? I saw Burrow not get it tens of times. I saw Burrow not get it more times than I can even count, bro. More times than I can even count. I hope my mic's picking up. Burrow got his goddamn face mask grabbed and yanked to the side against Baltimore. No call. On a big play. Burrow has gotten lashed and beaten. And he doesn't get calls like that. And so the second play that happened in the Chiefs-Texans game was, I think, the more egregious call. And Troy Aikman even commented on it in the live broadcast on ESPN. And, of course, a barrage of Chiefs fans proceeded to attack him and say that he's just jealous of Mahomes, and that's why he was saying what he was saying. But basically, Mahomes scrambles. I believe it was a third down. I could be wrong. Mahomes scrambles. He has an opportunity to go to the sideline and get out of bounds, but he stays in bounds and just kind of shimmies around, and he doesn't give himself up until the very last moment. And he gets hit. Two Texans players were in the mix, and it looked like one of them came in a little hot and made contact with Mahomes, 15-yard penalty. So the two sides to that argument are, on one side, get out of bounds or be more clear about giving yourself up as a quarterback, running the ball. And then the other side is, did that Texans player, I think it was a big-ass defensive lineman, did he lead with his head in an egregious way? So basically, the Chiefs' side of the argument is the head-to-head stuff, right? The top of the helmet, making contact with an offensive player's head with your helmet, especially the crown of your helmet. That's such a judgment call for officials. And so I think that's where the gray area is with the Chiefs. It's like we see the Chiefs get these calls time and time again, these judgment calls on what is a head-to-head tackle. I personally think they should just let more of them go unless they're blatant. Unless the guy is intentionally taking the crown of his helmet and trying to knock the other guy out. Ray Lewis type shit. But yeah, I mean, telling Troy Aikman that he's jealous, come on. That's like a socialist. I don't know. I guess that's like a damn, when someone disagrees with you online and instead of actually discussing the matter with you, they just call you a retard. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like Chiefs fans are kind of doing that with Troy Aikman. Oh, you're jealous of our guy. Troy Aikman's got enough money to last him probably, he's not jealous. He's not jealous. He's just calling the game how he sees it. I talked about the NFL being more like the UFC, I think, last episode. You ever notice how in the UFC, if the fight's bad, like Joe Rogan and John Anik in DC will be like, this is terrible. Like, they're just so honest about what's going on. I don't think football commentators have that same honesty. I think they try to sell it too much, and it's disingenuous, and you could engage more people if you were just like, that's a shitty fucking call on air. You know what I mean? This is a terrible game. You're watching the damn Bears play the Jaguars. You're like, I don't want to be here to call this game. I'm just going to be real with y'all. I think that would help the NFL more than it would hurt them. So, that's what I like about the UFC. UFC 311 happened on Saturday night. It's been a big sports weekend. 311 happened. Obviously, I think the, highlights of the night, Yuri Prochazka just tatered Jamal Hill. Tatered that fella, dude. Absolutely smoked him. And then the two, they had a drink at the bar afterwards, dude. Jamal Hill just looks beat up, dude. But Yuri Prochazka, he shaved that tail off the top of his head. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what I thought about his piece. I thought it was kind of beat, but then he's also like on his warrior shit. So, he kind of made it cool, with his dark retreats and stuff like that. The guy is just a very unorthodox fighting style, man. Like, Yuri Prochazka stands in the box, in the telephone booth, hands down, just ready to do whatever. And it's when he's fighting Alex Pereira, he gets absolutely peppered up. But it seems like with any other guy, Yuri Prochazka, he can kind of stand in the box, stand in the telephone booth, hands down, and he's so wild and unpredictable that he actually has more wherewithal to just stand there with his arms down and then, stick something in there real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess what I'm saying is when your hands are down, and this is what I think, right? When your hands are down in a fight, your chances of getting hit and not being safe go up, but your chances of landing a unorthodox shot that the other guy doesn't see coming at all, that also goes up. And so Yuri's just here, and he's, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I got limited room here to shadow box, but like Yuri, he'll just stand in the box, he'll stand in the telephone booth, hands down, and then they make the move, bang, just sticks it in there. And so he clipped Jamal bad. And props to Jamal Hill for not going absolutely unconscious after Yuri connected with him on that right. I think he threw a hook with the left and then came across with the straight 2 on the right. I could be wrong. I'm trying to remember the clip. But anyway, so that was a hell of a fight. You know, Moicano had to step in on a day's notice to fight the greatest pound-for-pound fighter in the world, other than John Jones, in Islam Makhachev. And Islam might even be above John Jones at this point, just age and primes and what have you. You know, Islam finished him, I believe, in the first round with a Darce. You know, it's pretty straightforward. And then you have Marab, Dvalishvili, and Umar Nurmagomedov, coached by Khabib Nurmagomedov. I would say it's hard to call the fight of the night. I'd probably give the fight of the... I wonder who got those awards. UFC 311 awards. Let's see. I just did a gnarly typo. Bonuses. Marab, I bet it looks like, yeah. So Marab and Umar got the fight of the night. So, and I'm not surprised by that. 5-round fight, title fight, bantamweight champion of the world, bantamweight championship of the world. I believe Umar was favored by the odds makers before the fight. And the first, I mean, I thought it was a beautiful fight all the way around. Very high level. Both guys very skilled. I mean, like I said, Umar was the favorite in sports books before the fight, and his gas tank was just empty by round 3, and you could see it. He was physically fatigued, bro. You could see it on his face and his body language. Marab just put the pedal to the gas, did not stop. Looked like he could go another 5 rounds after the fight was over. And I think it's because he just doesn't have any brain cells. You know, he don't got enough brain cell receptors to tell his body, hey brother, hey, let's go sit down on the couch, have a beer, eat some pizza. You know, he doesn't. It's like his 2 brain cells are just like, we fight, we no get tired. We know. Is that a good Georgian accent? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I saw a video of Marab just, I think it was at a big ass pool in Las Vegas, big ass pool at a resort, and the guy swam. So he jumps in and he's trying to swim across the pool without taking a breath. And it's like a long ass pool, dude. Long pool. I think the video was like 1.5 minutes. 2 minutes. And the guy's underwater the whole time. Made it all the way to the other end. And it's like, dude, impressive, but also like, are you okay? You know what I mean? But no, he put on a great performance. We're going to get his ass. We're going to go and get his ass. and put it up on a mount over the fireplace. That's what we gonna do. But who knows, man? Like Peter Yan might get the title shot next. Marab might take a break. He's on a long win streak, so who knows if he takes a break. Maybe Sean will get to fight Umar next, which will be, I think we knock his ass out too. You know what I mean? But we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. Would be great to get just another Sean Marab championship rematch, on the books right away. But who knows? Who knows what'll happen there? Let me see if I can. That's better. The cord's just brushing up against everything. So yeah, UFC 311. I don't think I watched many other fights on that card. I saw a clip of Paddy Pimblett. There was a guy beefing with him on Instagram or something, and so the guy showed up, or Paddy showed up to this guy's gym to spar him, and it actually, it was pretty even until the end. Paddy locked up a choke and then didn't let go after the guy tapped. So that was interesting. It's kind of a dick move, dude. But, I mean, if you got beef, like, I don't know. Normally I don't with a I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know if somebody made me mad enough if I'd do that or not. What else? I mean, Bills Ravens, snowy night in Buffalo. That game in Philadelphia was bad ass, by the way. It was bad fucking ass. And then you got these videos of the upper deck of the Philly fans just partying around after the win, I presume. It's all snowy. Like, you can't even see the field. It's so snowy. And they're just having the time of their life. So I thought that was pretty badass. Looked like Hurts just was harmed for a good bit of that game. And he started rolling right, started rolling left a little bit. So that was encouraging, to kind of see that, he wasn't completely wrecked. But there was a time in that Eagles-Rams game where it felt like the Eagles could not throw the ball. They had to rely on Saquon a little bit. But they advance. Let me think. And then the Commanders, dude. Lions 0-1 is the number 1 seed. Ben Johnson, the OC for the Lions, he got hired by the Bears today as their head coach. So maybe we'll see Caleb Williams doing some flea flickers with DeAndre Swift in the cold Chicago air next December, because that team's not making the playoffs, not even next year. Who knows, man? The Commanders are undoubtedly the story of these playoffs, and therefore this season. You got a rookie quarterback back there who's absolutely sensational. I'd argue the most sensational rookie quarterback that we've ever seen in NFL history, in Jaden Daniels. Regardless of what happens in this game against Philly, who's an NFC East opponent who they've played 2 times in the last 2 months. They're playing them for the 3rd time in 2 months. So it's a familiar opponent, division game, anything can happen. And so you very well could see a rookie quarterback who has started the entire year leading a team who went, what was their record last year? (4-13) last year, the Commanders went. And now they're in the NFC Championship with a rookie quarterback. So who the hell knows? Who the hell knows, man? With any team. You know, I'm ruling out the Bears. Who the hell knows? Probably rule out the Bears. But, you know, Washington hangs 45 on Detroit. 45. Cliff Kingsbury deserves to be a head coach again if he wants. Dan Quinn's done a phenomenal job. I really think the secret sauce for Washington is Cliff and Jaden. I mean, obviously Jaden, but the two being paired together. I really think that's their sauce, dude. Cliff Kingsbury is a genius play caller. And I think a guy like Jaden being in that offense, I think that's worked wonders. And they got some good leaders on defense. You know, Bobby Wagner's old ass at linebacker. Other guy's named Frankie. I forget his last name. Frankie something, but guy's apparently a crazy bastard, likes to drink tequila, have a little party. And it just seems like it's all come together for the Commanders. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if they're in the Super Bowl. Would not be a bit surprised. Wouldn't that be the craziest thing? They gotta have the longest odds right now. Because the other three teams in the championship round, you know, Philly's a great top to bottom team. We all know Buffalo's had firepower since the first game, and then obviously the Chiefs. But the Bills-Ravens game was a fun one. It's just the turnovers were the difference, man. I know it came down to that last 2-point. Mark Andrews is really getting dragged through the mud online for dropping that 2-point conversion pass. I feel bad for the guy. You could see it on the sideline that he was really beat up after that play happened, and he makes that catch 999 times out of 1,000. You know what I mean? It's just unfortunate in a moment like that. Probably go down as one of those follies. You know, dude, that's crazy. I remember when I was a kid, this just popped into my head. When I was a kid, there was this series on DVD called the NFL's Greatest Follies. And it was just a collection of DVDs clowning people that made us play like that in the NFL. That's crazy, bro. I don't even know. I mean, it's a hell of a concept. It's just like, I don't know how you get. Maybe you don't even need the guys in the film to agree to it because it's the NFL and they own the media. You know, the NFL games. I mean, damn, yeah. NFL's Greatest Follies. I'm remembering the logo to that too. It's like a little green. It's got some green in it. Crazy, bro. But this is loud. This is loud. But you know, Lamar threw a stupid pick early in the game. Had a fumble. I think the play was supposed to be a read option, and he just had nowhere to go. Tried to make something out of nothing and loses the ball. And one of those turnovers Buffalo didn't capitalize on. I don't think they got points. I don't remember. But, I mean, here's the thing with Buffalo. If Buffalo gets down to the 1 or 2 yard line, it's over. I don't care how beefy your front is on defense. You got that big offensive line, and you got that big tree at quarterback, Josh Allen. Dude's literally, like, his build reminds me of a tree, like, in the most complimentary way. This dude's built like a big-ass oak tree. You know what I'm saying? And, excuse me. When you get to the 1 or 2 yard line and you're the Bills, Like, they got the tush push, dude. They got a tush push this year. And also, Cook's got good power to him as well. So, it's really hard to stop them. I would love to see the Bills and the Commanders in the Super Bowl. Might just get one. Might get none. Another Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl, dude, that would make me nauseous. But, I mean, we'll see. You know what I mean? Bengals former defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo gets hired by the Indianapolis Colts, and I don't know if I've addressed that on the podcast here yet, but the Bengals fired their defensive coordinator 6 years in Lou Anarumo, the guy that was nicknamed Lou Dini, the mad scientist. The Bengals let him go after this season. After that group really rallied the last 6 weeks, 5 weeks of the season. They really played well. The question you ask about this 2024 Bengals season is, who do you pin the personnel dilemma on? What do I mean by that? You had some veteran guys on that defense that were not playing well. Sam Hubbard, Von Bell, Cam Taylor-Britt. Geno Stone was playing terribly. He created a couple of turnovers late in the year, but I mean, he was so bad that, Bengals fans thought he was a double agent from the Ravens, because that was where he came from. You started putting guys in there like Josh Newton. There was a kid, I think he had number 46, that was playing really well. You put, what's the guy's name? Miles something, maybe Miles Murphy. He was a defensive end, in place of Sam Hubbard. You make these little adjustments, and all of a sudden this defense is clicking. You put these young guys in there. So what I'm getting at is, you ask the question, is it on Duke Tobin, the de facto GM? The Bengals don't even have a real GM. Duke Tobin, the de facto GM, do you put the personnel on him? That's his main job, by the way, is to put together a team of guys. Or do you blame it on Lou for not making the change to the young guys earlier in the year to get us 1 or 2 extra wins, push us into the playoffs? All of a sudden, you give this team 1 or 2 more wins. And I know everybody's saying Bengals fans are the biggest what-if fans on earth, the biggest hypothetical fans on earth. It's like, what if you add I just did it. I just did a what-if. Point is, this Bengals team was good enough to still be in the mix at this point in time, and they're not. And you think, if you get an extra game or 2 in the win column and you make the playoffs, where would this team be? So I think Lou Anarumo, his firing was kind of a scapegoat firing. And to make matters even worse, Duke Tobin wouldn't even take questions from the media after the season ended. Really bad look. Doesn't surprise me at all. And the media won't get to talk to him until the combine in March, when the season's already gone. So I hope some media guys write some questions down that are really going to put him in a torture chamber and save him until the combine, so they can hammer his ass, because he has to go up there and answer questions of the combine. I don't know. I've got a lot of a lot of suppressed anger against the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm past it at this point. I'm done grieving the season. But what if? What if? And they'll be back. I think they're going to sign T. Higgins. You know, I don't think you waste your time tagging him. You obviously got to pay Jamar Chase. I have no idea why that hasn't been done yet. It's a defunct organization, man. I mean, and we got some generational players that are keeping this dream alive right now. But now I'm hearing that the Brown family, the Blackburn family, they're having little squabbles with Hamilton County about the fucking stadium, and that tensions are rising. And I'm hearing, all of a sudden, does this team have the possibility of relocation? I've already dealt with one defunct organization that relocated in my work life. I don't want to have to deal with it in my personal life, in my fandom. You know, and I said this on X, it's like, this ownership group, the Browns, they come from football royalty. They don't have anything else. Mike Brown's daughter, Katie, marries Troy Blackburn, and all of a sudden, this third generation of folks that really haven't done anything since their great-grandpa, Paul Brown, did, have got this huge sense of unwarranted ego. We own a football team, so we're better than you. We don't care about the people of Cincinnati. We don't care about winning. We just want to collect our check and be assholes. And so I said on X, I said, you know, they're probably hell to deal with, man. I'm siding with Hamilton County. They're probably horrible people to deal with because they got so much damn unwarranted ego. You know, last time the family's done something remarkable, you know, was when Paul Brown, you know, granddaddied the sport of football, man. You know what I'm saying? Where are we at on time? Oh yeah, we're rolling along, baby. So yeah, I'm really frustrated with the Bengals. I'm sure there are some guys in that locker room that feel the same way I do. I think we covered all the games, man. I mean, let's see if Ohio State's won by now. Yeah, they got the damn national champ hats on. They're talking to Will Howard right now. That Jack Sawyer dude is a big boy. He's a giant. You know what I mean? I can't imagine getting hit by him. But, you know, that's an NFL meat suit right there, baby boy. All right, I'm going to let y'all go. 48 of In the Jar. This is actually the last episode that this show will be called In the Jar, I believe. Should be. Still getting the same show, just a different name. We're going to call it the Dupree Show from now on. The Dupree Show, baby. The Dupe Show. So, I'm fired up about it. I'm just, I'm corresponding with my Afghanistani graphic designer. You know what I'm saying? Check that boy overseas. Found him on Fiverr, baby. He designed, you know, his name's Jimmy or something. It's probably not his real name. But online, he's Jimmy. And he made the logo for In the Jar. And so he's making the new logo for the Dupree Show. So once we get that done in the next day or two, we're going to switch the show to that name. But it'll be the same show. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Takes 2 seconds and it really helps us out. All right, boys and girls, we'll see you next week. We're going to get serious here. We'll see you soon.